Okay, Brett, we
Hi.
are now live. Just give me 1 second to go ahead and tweet about this, let everyone know that we are now live, and that they can join us. I am having trouble with Twitch telling me how many viewers are on the channel, but yeah, woohoo, hello.
Noah.
So, why don't we
That's my
go
first.
ahead and get started with. So, by the way, do let us know about the volume settings if one of us need to be louder or whatever. Okay, I am gonna bring up Linelight. Okay, actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make the volume of it a little bit lower.
Also, how's my video quality? Because my Wi-Fi's been a little bit spotty.
Your video's good.
Okay.
Yeah, no problems there.
Okay. Cool.
So, Brett, you won't be able to hear Linelight.
Okay.
I can, and the chat can as well. The Twitch on stream. Right. Hide this. Okay. So, Linelight. Even make it even more quiet. Actually, just before we start, so tell us a bit about yourself. I know we met
Practice.
at Practice,
Yeah.
which is a conference that's organized by NYU in New
Mhm.
York, and it's very much like a game design centric conference. There's no biz dev, no tech, no art stuff. It's just game design. I actually
Yeah.
thought it was level design, but it's it's more game design than level design.
Uh-huh.
And that's where we met the year before, Practice 2014.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you showed me something very cool at a party. I don't know if it's a different game. I remember very, very impressed. So why don't you just tell us a bit about yourself, your background?
Sure. My name is Brett Taylor. I am a game developer, independent now, as of June 2015, so mid last year. So I worked at Arcadium for 3 years prior to that. I was on the R&D team there, so I was making prototypes. It's a lot of my specialization is in like fast and rapid prototyping. I've been working on Linelight since I left the company. I took sort of like a month and a half, like vaguely off. So I've been working on it full time since then. And it's been difficult and challenging learning how to do all of this like on my own, which like I know how to make games on my own. I know how to do like that process. But that's enough of a challenge on its own. But like managing my own time and like literally just working alone, working without feedback, like sort of working in the vacuum. That's been my a common recurring theme that I'm trying to work through. I'm like starting to get on top of this. I think I'm all right. As of like 2 weeks ago, I actually have a marketing team now, which is awesome. I had a total like just emotional break, and I was like, all right, I can't live like this anymore. This is overwhelming. So I hired my cousin and somebody else who I met at a co-op space. Now they're helping me with marketing Limelight, which frees me up to actually work on the game again because I haven't worked on the game in like a month and a half, which it's like ridiculous. So I'm really excited about that. So that's going pretty well.
I just want to say Praetorian 1978. Hello. By the way, because I can't see how many people are in the chat, and I don't know when people come in, so feel free to just say hi when you show up. Sorry, I think I interrupted something that you were saying, Brett?
Although actually, I do have a question about the video. So when I look at it, like when I look at the stream, it shows me like behind, like 15 seconds delayed, but you seem to be in sync. Is that just me? Is that all right?
Yeah, when we are talking, the stream is 15 seconds behind. So don't look at the stream video. Look at what's on my screen. And
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay that I can't see your face, but I can see your screen.
Yes, that's all you need to see. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I hear your voice, and I can just picture your face.
Yes.
And I'll use
my face is not that important. At least not for you. Yeah, and I mean, you've been in. So this game has been in development for about, well, how long did you say? Like a little over 6 months.
Yeah, like maybe like 7 months. I mean,
7 months. Okay.
The easy answer is about like 7 or 8 months. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a bit of a smaller project. How many times do you hear that?
Yeah. I mean, I thought my game was going to be 3 months, and now I'm 3 years and 3 months. So
Exactly. I mean, but that's actually, I think that that's a good thing in a lot of ways. I mean, I think it's got, pros and cons. The cons, obviously, is that it takes a lot more time. But the pro is that you've discovered a mechanic that has so much depth to it. And that's sort of, what I've encountered with Linelight. And I started digging a little bit into this, the idea of, like, what if everything's on the line, just minimalism, like reducing everything, puzzle elements to their simplest forms. And I discovered, there's just oceans of possible content here. And it's actually been... it's been tempting to continue adding mechanics, but I'm trying to keep the focus, narrower. So I'm at least I want to explore the world that I've created as is. I could continue, in theory, I could keep working on this game for another 2 years and really make this a 15, 20-hour game or something like that. But I don't want to do that.
Right.
I want the liberty to move on to the next project. Although I'm very proud of this project, I am absolutely. Yeah. But I'm just starting out, so I want I guess rapid feedback because so far I've gotten feedback from playtests and stuff like that, which is not, I guess not enough yet. So so I'm excited to be finishing up Linelight. So Linelight, the goal is to have it finished in about 2 months. That's sort of that's a vague goal. I haven't put a hard date on it yet.
Right.
Things will become clear as as my momentum for creating content becomes a little bit clearer. I will be releasing for Steam Greenlight, I think in about 2 weeks or so, is what Christian, my marketing director, and I have sort of agreed to.
Okay.
So and then I'll be I'll be posting that all over Twitter.
Sure. So by the way, Fur Trapper, hello. So why don't we go ahead and get started playing the game, and then as I'm playing, we can kind of talk about stuff. And this is made with Unity.
It is. It's made proudly with Unity.
And so you've done everything: the art, the design, the music.
Yeah, I literally did everything. Although actually, it's not okay. So I can't do 100% of things in a vacuum. I did have help with 1 or 2 programming problems that I just couldn't. It was too big for my head. I'm only one brain. My RAM is not large enough. We did actually get some help doing some really complicated stuff there. But that was, aside from that, it was maybe 2 days or so out of the entire development. Aside from that, pretty much everything is. Not pretty much. Literally everything.
All right, before I continue, what should I be using to play this? Should I be using...
Xbox controller is the absolute best way to play.
Xbox controller...
Yeah.
So if you have it, is it not responding?
So wait, so you have a controller right now?
Yeah. Should I be using the joystick, or...?
Yeah, use the joystick. Are you able to move up and down, or...?
No, I'm not. I think it's I can use the mouse to move up and down, but not the joystick. Okay,
so let's try this. Have the mouse over circuit number 1 and then hit the A button on the Xbox controller and see if that works.
No.
Okay, then maybe, so your Xbox controller's on? And you're sure it's connected?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Why don't I start this game again?
Yeah. Sometimes just restarting it solves it. Also, to anybody who's wondering why I keep looking down, my puppy Zorro is underneath the table here, and he sometimes wants attention, and I don't want to put him in his crate because I like him having him around me. So, that's what I'm doing.
It is, but it is slow. I don't know if it's because it's interfering with the mouse. So
the controller response is slow. Yeah, the main menu is buggy, so just ignore that.
Okay. Okay, actually, so here I can use the Xbox controller, so I'm all good.
Yeah. So let's back you out actually, just to the very beginning. There's a tiny little sequence there. So let's go back to the main menu and then go to hit the escape button. There you go. Then just reset demo or something, or main menu. And there's
save data.
Exactly. Yeah. And then actually quit out of it and then reopen it and then you should be good.
And then quit the game.
Yeah.
This is
also I'm actually gonna. Yeah, it's so weird seeing everything 15 seconds behind on the other screen. It's just
Kanoa Zorro's the PR specialist, yes.
Yeah, Zorro is PR. Well, Zorro started as QA for a while, but he got frustrated because he couldn't play too much of the game. Right. I had him try to tweet things for me, but he just talks about dog things, so it didn't work either. So now he's helping with PR a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. He's adorable. The cutest PR employee I've ever had.
Okay. Oh, so I remember this part. It's got the loading scene's actually pretty long.
So actually, this is still it's like my first pass at this, but just click any key and then or like hit any button on the controller, and then it begins. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I've got this line. I'm moving. So I'm using an Xbox 360 controller, using the left joystick to move. You know, you have a lot of polish. Like even, so you see the line right now. If I move slightly to the left or the right, this thing like wiggles, and I think that's a really, really nice touch. And it feels really good, the movement. I think you got this like really nice ease in, ease out. It's not a one-to-one. It feels very nice to move, and it's got this like, I love the stretch that you've added to it. Like it's kind of amazing just how good the I mean, I know it's only a line moving, right? But it does feel very good. There's like, it feels very polished. It feels very nice. So let's, all right, I get the line to go through that thing. Welcome to the Linelight demo, proudly bug-free since 2017. Okay, I like the text.
It's pretty out of tone in the game, but I have that in there because I thought it was funny.
I do like text and part of that though. I think that's something you can do. So if I cross this, then the line moves down, and that's good. I'm assuming I can't do it, but the way it's designed, my only option is to go through that. Okay, I am very much enjoying that everything is sort of in one continuous scene.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't for the longest time. I had for a really long time the game. It was just, scene by scene, and then I tried it out like this, and it was just.
Yeah, I also love the line animation. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Like when the level opens up?
Yeah, when the level opens up, is that a shader that's doing that?
No, it's actually it's pretty much everything is custom. Mostly, not 100%, but like that in particular that is custom.
This is good. Yeah.
What happens in that sequence is you're seeing particle effects that are okay. So the level lights up recursively, and like a street will notify other streets, hey, like light up when I reach you here, blah blah. So if there's like, let's say there's a fractal like level, in theory, the fractal like level will start at like the base of the tree or whatever, and then it'll ripple out, and then like the leaves will be lit up last, no matter where they are in the level.
Can I backtrack?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay. Oh, that's really cool.
You can go wherever you want.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to continue forward then. I really like this previous puzzle. So, interesting. So I am noticing that one thing here is, and you don't have to explain. So yeah, yes, for Trapper, this is made with Unity. Hold on a second. One thing I'm noticing with this image right now is that these little dumbbell switches, some of them are, the blue and the orange are solid colored, and the green is just the outline. Like, I know when I go through it, it changes, but this is, I guess because the default of this one starts up on top, but anyway, we'll continue.
Oh, interesting, okay, I didn't think about that.
Well, because you don't want people to think that it's like, when it's solid, it's up. But I think this is good, actually, because it's more saying that you're like, it's not in this default position. But anyway, we missed the beautiful line animation there.
Actually, if you hit the L key, you can get it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that looks really nice. That's a really nice. It's just, I'm really impressed with the level of polish here. Okay, so now we know that the green switches are sort of synced together, right? So crossing this one will make that one. So first, what do I want to do? So I want the green one to be down first, so that, no, I want it up first so I can cross through it, and then crossing through the second green is going to make this one come down, which means, though, I will need, what the fuck? Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Okay, so... Oh, fucking A. This is cool. So the switch is on the segment itself. So by crossing that, it moves me. Oh, this is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is very cool. You know what? I'm gonna take 1 second and I'm just gonna tweet about this again. Just let everyone know that we're live.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, so fun fact about that level, I had like, I think there was like 2 other preceding levels that explored just that one particular principle, but I ended up merging it all into one level because I didn't think that they really warranted the separation, and I kind of wanted to get the player like through the game a little bit faster through the beginning because you picked up on it, you know, like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no real trouble there.
Linelight. That's very cool. I'm enjoying it so far. It is. Oops. Sorry, I closed my Twitch window.
It's all good.
Bear with us. Praetorian. Yeah, this is like I like that because this is like a super simple mechanic, and with a really easy like a simple art style, right? It's like it's totally something that you can do on your own, but because it's so polished, it feels great. You know, like this is way better than trying to do this massive MMO that just looks like junk, right?
Yeah, I mean that's really my style. Is so for me, like my pyramid is pretty. Infallibly, it's always like the bottom of the pyramid is mechanics. Like the mechanics are the number one thing, and then eventually it's like I don't really consider myself an artist. So when people say that the game looks nice, it's like it's always like a little bit hard for me to believe that. I just sort of want the art to service the game and make it more palatable. I'm not good with like making literal art. I'm not like really a painter or whatever or good at drawing. So I like my style is basically keep things abstract because that I can deal with basically. Yeah. So.
Although I would argue that art does not just mean paintings, right? Like it does encompass a lot more.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. But if art were just paintings, then I wouldn't really be an artist. But I do consider myself an artist because I guess right. Right?
Yeah. So Spherical Penguin, by the way, welcome back. Haven't seen you here in a while. Hello. This is. Platforms. It's PC, Windows, Mac, Linux.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's made in Unity, so
right. Yeah. Jeroen. I do think this would work very well on console because it feels very good with the controller. But
yeah, I really do want it on.
We
console.
can talk about that maybe another. We should since you'll be at GDC. You should. I do think it would be worthwhile to reach out to. Either Microsoft or Sony, I can give you their contacts. I don't want to overwhelm you, right? It is going to add time to your development, but you're using Unity, so that will be very helpful. But why don't we continue with the game? Right. So for those of you that are joining us, this game is called Linelight. I'm with Brett Taylor, who is based in New Jersey, right? Which is where I was born. So, great estate.
Yeah.
So this game is very cool. You control this little light, and when you cross through a switch, it moves these lines, in different positions, and they are very, they're sort of they're the same, right? So like. Right now, I can cross this green line, but when the green line is down. By the way, hello, Shifting Bits. That's Bob Webb working on. They're changed the name of the game. It used to be Tetropolis, but we should all hang out during GDC. Anyway, so you can see when that green line is down, I can't actually cross through it. So, what I want to do is, okay. So watch this now. We have this green line up. I cross through the other green switch, and it brings it down. And this is very cool because. The pink switch is on the segment itself, which moves me to the other side. Then the cross to this blue, which gets me through this. Yeah, the dev kit is actually the hardest part is because so on the back there's these ports where you got to put in the your internet cable, and it like skips one, and I remember I struggled with it the whole day, and it was just because I had the cable plugged in the wrong socket. By the way, you did the music. It's you wrote it on a piano.
Yeah, that's me playing the piano,
Okay.
and I also I wrote all the percussion. Everything's by hand.
Very cool. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm guessing these red things are bad. Okay. Any key to retry. Okay. So I'm starting to see some timing elements. Interesting. Have you played, you know what game this reminds me of is, Expand. By
Expand?
Chris Johnson. Check it out. He's an Australian developer, but it's got a very similar tone and vibe. It's very abstract, but peaceful. It's a little less puzzly than yours. It's like if you just had the timing elements, that sounds like kind of what it's got. Yeah, so shifting bits have the exact same problem. It's like not super well labeled in the back, but
I've never done anything for console before, so it would be totally like a new thing for me. Which is sort of why
watch. That's good. Yeah, it is, and you know, we can talk more about it. There are things to be aware of. Yeah, it might not be necessary, but it should be something to consider. And I think your game, because you are using Unity and it is very controller friendly. You know, like if your game had a ton of typing, like Quadrilateral Cowboy, then like, yeah.
The game really is meant for console. Yeah, it's so much easier to control with the joystick. Like more hardcore gamers, or at least like experienced gamers, don't really have problem with the keyboard, like with the arrow keys. But anybody who's not like gamer does have issues. Not a lot, but it's like.
I think it feels good, you know, because the joystick allows for 360-degree movement, right? Whereas like
you can go diagonal a little bit more easily. But you'll see, actually, I developed this entire game for the keyboard, so there's almost no diagonal lines. You'll see like the tiny diagonal lines. If you push up, the game is smart enough; it knows where you want to go.
Right.
So it'll move onto that line. But there's it's affected the level design a lot. Just so the aesthetics of that.
And I even think like even diagonal lines wouldn't be great, right? Because it just makes it really confusing to move, even if you had a joystick. But what it is, it does mean that like when I'm playing with the joystick, I can in these cases move diagonal, and it just makes like the whole movement a little more interesting.
Yeah, it feels a lot smoother. Yeah.
Okay, I know what I need to do. Oh fuck. Okay, these are so far everything seems pretty easy, straightforward. I'm guessing this is just introduction of the mechanics.
Yeah, so this is me introducing you to exactly, just like the base mechanics of the game and getting you familiar with them. If I did jump you into the later levels, like you could solve them, but your brain hasn't I want to give the player like more opportunity to sort of make shortcuts in their brain as to how like these mechanics work. So it offloads working memory, so they can actually focus on the main puzzle and not like the basic mechanics. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is.
Yeah, they start out. Everything starts out pretty gentle. I like to. I want to get the player more invested in the game first, and then feeling good about feeling accomplished. Or I keep the bar to succeed relatively low in the beginning, but not in like a it's boring or too easy way. It's still interesting.
Right.
But yeah, like later in the game, levels start ramping up like in cerebral difficulty. Like there's some crazy hard levels in the game.
Okay.
But what I love about the design of the game, like what I'm so excited about, is just the elegance of all the levels. So like my favorite levels are the ones that are extremely simple. Like there's only like maybe 3 or 4 things in the level, but the solution is just completely like it's not obvious at all. It takes a while to get to figure out.
Welcome, Jet user. Hello. Okay. So let's see now. Okay. Oh, this is very cool. Alright, so for those of you that are just joining us, this is Linelight. I'm talking to Brett Taylor, and Now the goal here is I want to get the red line to go touch the red. Oh, I see. So, because it keeps moving up until there's a bend. Oh, I see where this is getting complicated. Hey, Treeform! By the way, I am gonna email you. I haven't forgotten about your email. I do want to get you on the stream sometime, but I have some travel plans coming up. Okay, this is a little tricky. There we go. Okay. Jerron, what was the reason to make this particular game? This is a question from Jerome511. What was the reason to make this particular game? Was there a strong idea at the start, or did it evolve over time?
So there actually is a story. Like for most of my early games, I'm like I don't really know where they came from. For this one, I do remember. So I saw
it's obviously a ripoff of The Witness.
Yeah, it's 100% Witness. I saw screenshots of The Witness and I was like, all right, I need to clone this game. And no, it's actually, so I attended a talk by Itai, Julia, who worked on Mushroom 11. Mm-hmm. And their talk was like about tutorial design. Anyway, so it got me thinking of what alternate mechanics you could possibly have in a game, or like other ways to interact with a game. And I thought to myself, well, what if you can only move on the walls and the floors? Like, what if you can't? Like, what if there's no space in between?
You mean like my game?
Well, no, I mean more like you're a snake or something.
Yeah.
And you're only interacting like there's basically no space. And then I realized 15 minutes into that thought process, maybe even less, I was like, well, why would I even have the room to begin with? Why not just have everything on lines? And I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then what really piqued my interest is, what's funny is the original mechanic of the game is not in this world or the next world. It takes a while to get to the original mechanic of the game where you are longer. Anyway, so that was the original idea for the game, where you played as some sort of like a snake and everything's aligned. And it wasn't a game. It was a programming project. I found it intriguing. I found it really interesting just because it seems so simple. It seems so very... it's very easy to explain. It's like you're on a line, you move around, and you have length, and that's basically it. Easy to explain. But the programming of it was just... I was just overwhelming. It was insanity. I could not have anticipated it would be that challenging. And I made a lot of stuff before. Anyway, so that juxtaposition just really, it was calling to me. It was singing to me. It's like, you have to, I'm better than this. I can figure this out. So I worked on it for a while. I got some stuff working. And I was kind of enjoying the process of working on it. Then something interesting happened, because I realized, it wasn't a game. There was nothing to do. I added enemies, things to avoid, and I'm like, actually, now it's kind of fun. Then I made they're called streets, each line is a street. Then I made streets that move, and I was like, holy shit, this is a game now. Then everything changed, and then from that moment forward, everything just started tumbling out, and pieces started fitting into place. And I've just found that there's so much potential.
Oh, fuck. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah.
So that's, Jerome511, that sort of answers your question. And also, actually, it did evolve over time. It has so the basic mechanic of it, everything takes place on a line. That did not evolve over time. That was from the get-go. That was the most fundamental part of the game. Also, actually, fun fact: this puzzle was one of the first puzzles I designed for this game. It was within the first 5 puzzles that I made. And it's still in the game. There's a few of the original puzzles are still here, and this is one of them. Actually,
most of my game, a lot of the original puzzles are the ones I still have kept. For me, with Manifold Garden, it was a lot of the early, during the early phases of development, that was when I had a ton of puzzles designed, and sort of what's taken so long over time is getting the, oh fuck. Interesting. Has been more working on level design, where to put the puzzles, what's the sequence.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Oh, I see. Okay. Fur Trapper says, "I like this game a lot. I think I will buy it."
Thanks, Fur Trapper.
I'm sure
I like
Brett
you too.
would be very, very happy. Oh, this is interesting. Ah. Okay, let's do this. Fur Trapper says, "Thank you for the inspiration." Well, thank you for joining us, for checking this out. Oh, interesting. Yeah. You know, and I love how minimalist and subtle everything is. Like, just the dot at the end. Oh, yeah, Manifold Garden, of course. I could do with everybody's support. That the dot at the end, it's so clean. You know, there's just...
Oh, just a little glowing.
Yeah, just like, well, you have the end where I have to go to, right? The end of the line is very clear. The lines that aren't there, but that can be moved into, you have like the hyphens, the... What is it? The dotted line, right? And then you have like these little stars fading in and out, which is like not at all distracting, but adds like a really nice touch. Why is everything abstract, but are locks and keys? You know?
That's actually a great question. So the lock and key used to look a lot more like a lock and key, but I changed it to, you think it's a lock and key, your brain sort of supplies that extra information. It's actually not. It's just a line and a circle. That's all it is. There's no like key element of it. But that iconography is very clear. I actually had it more abstract. I think it was a crescent moon originally, which is like, I guess, a simpler shape. But I sort of felt like, I don't know, I just decided that I preferred the look of like the little circle with just a line coming out of it. That's that. But so your question is, why is everything else abstract?
Or more that, why is everything abstract except the locks and keys are, you know, locks and keys?
That's a great question. I mean, probably because everything else doesn't have a parallel mechanic that exists in another game, but locks and keys exist in like a lot of games. So I had to make the iconography for, you know, all the other mechanics in this game.
Okay, and I am stuck. Interesting.
Yeah, this one's too hard. You should just give up.
There we go. Oh, interesting.
Awesome.
Interesting. That was a very interesting puzzle.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. What do you feel about that puzzle? Like, what are your thoughts?
Let's do it again. You know what? What is great, and I think the best puzzles, the really good ones, are the ones where it's like, what the hell? This is impossible, and then you get it, and it's interesting because it's hard for me to formulate. I need to play this again, right? But it's the idea that these loops allow you to loop twice or in different, right? It's okay. So like, say you come around here and then you're like, you light that up, and then you're like, well, what the hell? How am I going to cross over, right? And if I cross back, then it's like there. But sort of recognizing that this creates, and then you're like, well, but this doesn't work. But so what you have to recognize is that there's actually a previous step back where you can loop back around to go twice, and then loop back around to go twice. So I actually think it's really elegant.
Yeah, I mean, I kept this level in because I think it's pretty. I think it's a very pretty solution.
It makes use of the space. It gets you to draw the H sign, the infinity sign, which is very nice. And it has that, what I think is good, the ones that are like, what the hell? This is impossible. Aha, right? I think that's like, a great puzzle is always going to have the, this is impossible, aha moment, right?
Yeah, that's actually, so that's my, like, that's what I live for, is for those moments. And when I have that moment on my own, that aha moment, when I discover a puzzle, like, that is so rewarding. That is so, I have gotten, like, for some of the puzzles that I made for this game, I have gotten, like, basically high off of how excited I was for the fact that this puzzle is so, like, I found it. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I found this. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Like, this is mine now. And just like the beauty of that puzzle, and yeah, it's,
it is very nice, and that's definitely, so you should definitely be in the game. I don't think, just in terms of the difficulty sequence, I don't think it was like out of place. It was definitely one of the first ones where I'm like, oh, this feels hard, but it really wasn't that bad. And Kanoa I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Says, I like it because it also teaches a move you can use later, right? It's this like loop back, loop to.
I think actually Kanoa's talking about how I believe, how the streets can also shrink and grow.
Oh, really? See, I was thinking of using just the idea of being able to loop through another line to use the same thing twice. Because basically it allows you to, by going through the loop, you're allowed to trigger the same sequence twice going forward. Right?
Well, okay, so that itself doesn't show up anywhere else in the game. I don't think it does.
But that's a cool concept, right? Because it's like, otherwise, when you step forward and then you step backward, you are always going to do and undo the switch. Except this time, by having a loop, you can do and undo, but go in the same direction, which is kind of cool.
And the last actually thought that I have in the previous level, it's not my favorite level, but it's I don't even consider it a puzzle because it's linear. You literally can only go forward or backward. There's no alternate routes. You can only there's only one direction to go at any given time. That will get you towards the exit or towards the beginning.
You're talking about this puzzle.
I'm talking about this one.
You don't consider it a puzzle because there's a linear path?
Yeah, I mean,
you do have to figure out the path.
You do have to figure out the path. It's less puzzle than most other levels. So actually, check out the next level because this one, I really do like this level.
Mokizmo, hello. Mokizmo says, "Oh, cool, you're critiquing The Witness." Yes, I am in fact talking to Jonathan below here. This is The Witness minigame. None of the 3D, just the panels. Well, you haven't played The Witness too, right?
Have I been playing this? Yeah, actually I have. It's actually funny. Like, I was afraid that the games would be that The Witness was going to be very similar to this, and I'm so glad they're actually they're completely different. The only similarity is just that there's lines, and that's basically where it ends. Because The Witness, how those mechanics work, it's a completely different feedback system. It's a totally different piece of your brain that you work on. The Witness is based around building paths. There's no traveling without a path in any of the panels of The Witness. And that is the core foundation of that game, which is not present in Linelight. Although actually that's not 100% true. There is I do have some levels that allude to The Witness, intentionally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there full motion videos?
It's within the bounds. It's within the confines of the mechanics that I have in this game so far.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
Right.
Actually, among other things to do, I have had just include whatever references to other games that I love that I really appreciate. I don't have a grade reference